Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Amrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya
Hello, hello. It's Tuesday at 5:55, which means we gather in this space, guided in by the beautiful lyrics of Alicia Mathewson, the Asato Ma Prayer. If you are not familiar with this chant, it says, "Lead me from darkness into light, lead me from untruth into truth, and lead me from death into immortality." Maybe I mixed this up. I may have gotten this out of order. It is the most beautiful chant, and I was feeling while we were singing it, while we were chanting. Well, let me back up and say, I really hope that you have started to learn that song if you've watched a few of these episodes, and that you chant along with us as we enter into this space. The more voices that are activating those words, the more the harmony of all of our voices starts to play in vibration and sound and energy, the better. The better for the world, the better for humanity, the better for consciousness. Like, chant, sing, express your sound, and let it just be so enlivening. I was feeling while I was chanting that I remember singing, chanting along with Alicia when she was at my home, and feeling the harmony of, okay, her voice, I don't want to overshadow her voice. I don't want to be too loud. I don't want to be too big. And it's her song. It's not my song. And she was so kind. She's like, no, when I lean back, you lean forward. As I give you room, you step into that space. And tonight when I was chanting, I could just feel that. I want to sing it as loud as I can. I want everyone to hear this chant. I want everyone to know these words. It just wanted to burst out of me. And I could feel the joy, the absolute joy of the words that have been chanted over and over and over again. So many people through so many lifetimes, this chant has guided humans and brought comfort and brought inspiration. So yeah, chant loudly. Chant really loudly. I never get tired of this song. I don't know if you have songs that are like that, but I've never gotten into this space or sat in front of the camera. I'm like, oh man. It's yes, yes, we're doing the Asato Ma Prayer again. I can't wait. I woke up, must have been Monday morning. I don't think it was last week. I think it was yesterday. The days are going so fast. I don't know. I think it was yesterday. I woke up and I take my dog outside right away, and then I put my sneakers and my jogging clothes on. I don't want to even say running clothes because it's so hot right now. I'm jogging. I'm certainly not running. But I put my clothes on to go outside, and then I tie my sneakers and kind of listen to some music and get myself ready. Yep, I can do this. It's 6:45. I'm going to go conquer the world, and I'm going to start by running, jogging, sometimes walking. Sometimes walking. This is the space of truth. There's no room to lie here. Okay. Sometimes I jog and walk half and half. It depends on how hot it is. But yeah, I'm not a runner. Those people who time themselves and then they beat themselves at their time. Not me. But I digress. Yesterday, when I was getting ready, I don't know why, but I was I want to hear the Asato Ma Prayer. And the live version, which is what we listen to, I always have it on this computer screen over here that's bigger than the monitor in front of me. So I'm there's Alicia, big over there. And also, you see it in the screen. There's the CD cover, and then there's this bigger sort of shadowy not shadowy, blurrier version of her that's bigger. So I always feel she's there chanting, and I'm over here. So that's why I say that. Over there. But the live version is different than the version that, it must be different, right? Yeah, I have that album though. Anyway, there's a version I listen to that sounds different, and Yeah, it is different because the high pitched is a few extra times, and then you can hear like her smile. You can just feel all that joy coming through in the song. And yesterday I was like, oh, I totally want to hear that while I start my run. Like, that's going to get me going on this Monday morning. And it was so beautiful. I was like climbing the first hill that I do on my initial entry into my route. There's this really steep hill, and I run the first little part. I jog the first little part, and I walk the rest of the way. And I was just like chanting along and hearing her joy and feeling like the match in myself. Like, yes, we have another day, another beautiful day to see what can be created and, to shine more of our light and practice being immortal beings inside these mortal bodies. Like, how cool, we get to do it again. So yeah, that's how I started yesterday morning. So I love the song. I love the chant. I really hope that as you listen, you're getting more familiar with the words. You can always Google them and look it up. But as you get more familiar with the sounds, it's really easy to repeat them and then to internalize them. And then those chants are available for you anytime. So when you feel like you're in the darkness, or, there's those moments of untruth and we're not quite sure which way we're supposed to navigate, or how to be truth in a situation that is dark or heavy, or perhaps we're in those moments of transition where those we love are dying, or, for many healthcare workers, or hospice workers, you're in these places where you are facing death, daily. And it's a lot. That's a lot to hold energetically, emotionally, mentally. That's just a lot. So my hope is that this chant spreads, the words, the lyrics become so powerful that in those moments where people, humans, all of us, we're not quite sure how to get through the moment. Just that moment, we're not quite sure how to get through. If you've practiced that chant enough times, like the lyrics, they're right there. They're available in your awareness, in your subconscious. And you can just tune into the vibration of joy. In every moment of darkness, there is always light. Always. Always. In every untruth, you can dive deep and you can find the truth underneath. And always, always at the door of death, on the other side, is immortality. So this beautiful, beautiful, joy-filled chant, it reminds us of that. It anchors that vibration into our beings, our hearts, our souls. Like, yes, that is true. And we can take that chant anywhere. It's a vibration that we can hold inside. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. I have it. I have it printed. This is actually funny. I feel like I've talked about this, but maybe I haven't. If you're new to my work, this may be one of those moments where you're like, oh, she's a little out there. A while ago, I was so inspired by water. You know how sometimes you just connect into the purity and the, what would the word be? The gift, the absolute gift of water on our planet, like all that it brings to us, and how we bring it into our bodies and we move it through our bodies, and then we share it with the world when we release it into the toilet and it goes into the water purification system and then back out into the general water and then back into our bodies. Like we're so intimately connected as humans and plants and this, larger body that we call Gaia, Earth, the planet. Like we're all connected through air and through water. And so I was really inspired. I don't remember when that was. Oh my gosh, it must have been last fall. I don't know, but I decided to write a prayer to water and a blessing of water. And And so I printed the two out, and the water blessing, I mean, they're beautiful. I laugh because of the releasing one, which you're going to laugh too. But the blessing one I have at all the water places where water enters into our house or into the bathroom or comes through a faucet. I printed it out, and it's just taped underneath, each of those faucet or water pipes areas, and it's blessing the water as it comes in. And then by each of our toilets, except the guest one, because I think it was just too much for my family. They're like, no, not the guest one. But in the other bathrooms in our home, there's a blessing a releasing blessing. I wish I had it. I'd read it to you because it's really beautiful. It just talks about, like, I release all the negative energy. I send it out of my body and back into the toilet, and I fill myself up with just love and internal empowerment and purity and source and, just all of these beautiful words. So I don't even know if anybody sees it anymore because they're so used to having it on the wall next to the toilet paper. I see it. I say the prayer. I say the blessing. But yeah, I don't know if my family does. I don't know. Maybe they stick their tongue out at it, or they curse me. They may bless the water and curse their mom. Oh, it's so funny, the things that I put upon my family. But yeah, so there's a releasing prayer that we're supposed to say, that we're invited to say, that's right next to the toilet paper in the bathrooms. And the reason I shared all that is because I printed the words at the bottom of the Asato Ma Prayer. It just feels like another way to practice, another reminder to practice that chant. And when I first put the prayer up, the blessing up, I mean, I kind of go all in on stuff, like when I first decide to do something, that's what we're doing all the time. Everyone's on board. We're all doing it. Everyone has to go along with what I'm thinking is best for the family, which it usually is. It usually is. Like, what I suggest is really good stuff, but I kind of go all in. And so probably the first month, like every time I went to the bathroom, I would chant the Asato Ma Prayer. I would say the releasing prayer. I mean, I sat for a little while every time. I can't believe I'm sharing this, but it's relevant. It's going to resonate with somebody. But I would sit and I would say the releasing prayer. Oh my God. I just think if someone had a video camera in the bathroom, they'd be like, what? It was so good. I would just sit there and read it and bless all the stuff that was leaving my body. Oh God, it was so good. And then I had I'm going to have to get it and post it somewhere again. And I would read all the words across the middle that are like love, abundance, source, beautiful words. And then I'd chant the Asato Ma Prayer at the bottom. And then I'd flush and I'd go wash my hands and go on with my day. But I drink a lot of water and a lot of tea because I'm constantly rinsing my system out. So I go to the bathroom a lot. So I was doing a whole bunch of praying and chanting all the time. Oh, so good, right? I mean, that has to be good for my body. It has to be good for the bathroom. The energy, the vibration of the bathroom has to be good for my home. Yeah, we clear a whole bunch of stuff here. It's a good place to be. Yeah. Anyway, both of those, the water blessing, I'm so thirsty now, the water blessing and the releasing prayer, they're both available somewhere on my website. I have to look for them. I think I'm moving a bunch of stuff around on my site, but I think it's under health. And they're downloadable. You too can have the releasing prayer in your bathroom. Oh, you know what? I should tell you. This feels really important. I was kind of grossed out at the thought of a piece of paper being on the wall where what if you forget when you're hands are dirty. And so what if somehow a little bit of pee gets on the paper and then that's just gross, right? So I put the piece of paper inside one of those sheet protectors. Yeah. I mean, when I go all in, I go all in. So there's a plastic covered prayer on the wall that's taped to the wall, so it's not going to have any germs on it. Yeah, that's what happens in our house. What about yours? You'll have to share your bathroom routine with me. Oh God. This is actually kind of funny. I was thinking about this when I was preparing for the call today. I'm like, are you really going to need to say that? But yeah, my soul apparently knew it was coming forward. So one of the things I was laughing at in my meditation right before I arrive in this space, I tune in with Deepak and Oprah, and I have a little 15-minute meditation. I just pick from whatever one feels relevant. And it just helps me ground my energy and, clear my thoughts right before I step into this creation and releasing space. As of today, it's a releasing space. But I always do that meditation. And I had this flashback to a moment, must have been last weekend. It must have been last weekend. I was rewatching the video from last week, and I do that for many reasons, and I'll share that in a moment. But I was watching the replay of it while I was getting my hair. Sometimes I curl my hair. I don't always curl my hair. I curl it for these videos because I'm all in. And I curl it for meetings, but I should probably post a picture. It doesn't usually look like this in my everyday life. It's kind of in a ponytail and a little messier. But anyway, I was getting ready the other day and I was playing the video, and my daughter came into the bathroom and we were just talking for a second. And as she walked in, I was laughing at what I was saying in the video, and I was laughing in the video. And she's like, are you laughing at yourself laughing? Just like, is it that funny of a joke? I'm like, it really is. Like, it's really that good. And she's like, yeah, okay. But it's true. There's, when I watch these videos, I only watch them once. It's not like I'm obsessed with myself. I watch it once to see what my quality of communication looks like, and it helps me improve my communication. So for example, last week I noticed that I said, way too many times. So my awareness in this week is stop saying, so many times. For a while I was smacking my lips a lot, and I didn't like the way that sounded. So I've really been focusing on not smacking my lips. It's like, and I say a lot too. I'm working on that. I am working on that. See? Awareness. It's so powerful. The football players do this often. I mean, I think multiple times, right? Like the professional and then the high school and the college, like the teams watch their replays of the football game from the week before so that they can see what they could have improved on, or perhaps where someone was out of position or something was wrong. And then it improves their game. So the next week they show up and it's imprinted in their mind to not do it the way that they did it, or to repeat something that was done well. And I didn't used to watch my videos. I was like, create and goodbye. And I realized it's a way of constantly improving the performance that's not the right word. It's not a performance, because what I do is real. Like, there's no room to perform here. It's a way to hold myself accountable to continuously be improving. When I was studying management in college, it was when Kaizen was super important, the Japanese process of constantly improving your quality of process and supply and demand and quality. I think it was all of that. Clearly that was not my path to study, the process of manufacturing. But I learned a lot in those classes because they teach you the continuously seeking what you are doing so that you can improve and become better and better and more efficient, more productive, streamlining better, meeting the needs of the clients better. There's this constant looking at your cycle and then improving it. Yeah. what would they call that? It's like engineers. I know a lot of engineers from my construction days, and they find the shortcuts, they find the processes that work really well, and they just keep refining them, and they make them better and better. And so every building the next project is more efficient than the one before it, because they learned something in the last one and they're carrying it forward into the next one. And so there's just this constant evolution that makes everything better and better. Or at least that's the hope. That's the intention. If you're not paying attention to the process, you're not going to improve. Or if you're not taking the time to go back and review and look at it, you're not going to get better. So I watch these videos so I can go back and look and go, oh yeah, I was kind of noisy there. Or, it's funny. I don't really see a lot of mistakes. I'm usually like, damn, that was funny. Like, I really like how I said that. Or I do get frustrated when I cry, because I'm like, really, you have to cry in the video? But yeah. So so there's that. Quality improvement, releasing prayers. What else? What else do we cover? Okay, so what I was going to talk about, because I was creating an agenda in my mind as I was starting to listen to the meditation, until the meditation wiped it all out. Have you ever had that in meditation? It's like you're in the thought and you're gripping onto something that you're going to be like doing or taking out of the meditation. And then all of a sudden you just, like, your mind is wiped out in the meditation and there's nothing there. That happens to me more and more. It's like the slate just goes clean. Now what? It used to terrify me. It used to, in college, I would never, ever have shown up without an agenda. In most of my career in corporate, I would never have shown up without a plan. Like, I would be prepared. I would make sure I was ready with a couple alternative backups in case something might happen. And in my relationships, I would show up with an argument if there was going to be some kind of conflict. Like, I always was ready. And I'm getting better and better at just not having the plan, not having it all thought out, not needing to know which way it's going to go. And I'm getting better and better at being in that space and trusting that source. The way I see it, I've described this before, source is right here. My guides, the guardian angels, right behind my back, like this chair. That's where all my guides and my angels stand. And then right by my side are two more of my guides. So when I have this energetic team behind me, when I feel all of that love and support, it's like, what could go wrong? What could go wrong? I show up and I'm present in this space, and then, we see what comes through. What I find is that Esther Hicks says, the energy that creates worlds, the infinite God, the source that originated everything, from where all has formed, that original source, consciousness, love, whatever name you give to the energy that is the creator, always has a lot to say. Always has more to send through me. So every time I try to prepare an agenda or predict what it is that needs to be said, that's when source is like, oh no, you will sit here and you will feel the flow of energy and trust and just speak. And then through you, I will communicate whatever it is that needs to be shared. It is such a place of surrender and trust. And I am absolutely loving my life. I am in love with the way that I live my life. It is not a familiar path. It is not the way that I thought it would look. And it is better and better and better all the time. Yeah, my whole body's like, yeah, it feels so good. Oh, there was just a thought. Oh, a story. That's what I wanted to share. There were two stories that I wanted to share that I was thinking about, I guess earlier this morning, yesterday and today. So one of them is this shirt. I don't know if you can see, it's a heart and it says open. I forget the brand. Life is good. Life's so good. So good life. Shoot, I should have remembered. But anyway, so there's a quick story with this that I just find hysterically funny, because this is the way energy works in my life, in my experience. And it's just hysterically funny. It's completely out of my awareness or understanding. It's just like, here's what's going to happen. So my birthday was in January, and my friend sent me this t-shirt as a present in January, and it never arrived. And we both were so confused, because it said that it was delivered. It said that it was in the mailbox. Everything was right. The address was right. It was just not there. So I live in this community of 10 homes, and all of our mail is delivered at the bottom of our street. So there's a series of mailboxes, the regular slots, and then there's a couple package boxes. So when you get a package, they put the key in your box, and you've got a package. I kept waiting. I'm like, it's going to be there. It's going to be there. And she kept telling me it was delivered. I'm like, someone must have gotten it, and then they took it home and didn't realize it wasn't theirs until they looked at the label, like they'll bring it back or it'll show up at my door. And we talked about this for a couple weeks, and it never showed up. I'm like, well, go back and figure out why. Like, I didn't know what the gift was. I just knew I wanted the present. I'm like, how fun. You sent me a gift. I want what it is. Where is it? And it never showed up. So I don't know, a couple months. I'm like, whatever happened to that present? We don't know. So it just, got off the radar. There were lots of other things happening, and so we just didn't follow up on it. So yesterday, the day that I did the Asato Ma Prayer, I was like so happy about life and so excited and so full of joy, and like just in a really great place energetically. And I go to the post office to mail one of my books out. And I'm like, oh, I should probably check my P.O. box. Like, I don't even know. I never look at it. There's probably some junk mail. I'll clear it out. So I go and I clear it out, and there's a key. I'm like, a key? I've never had a key before. There was the package. It was sitting in the post office box for 6 months, waiting for me to realize that I should open my heart a little bit more. Is that so cool? It's so cool. So of course, I sent a message to my friend. I'm like, you're not going to believe it. It showed up. It's there. I have it. And I was opening the box, and I was so excited. I'm like, what a beautiful t-shirt. So I am wearing this t-shirt tonight in honor of my beautiful friend who gifted me with this amazing t-shirt 6 months ago. And also to honor the work that I've been doing, because clearly in January, I was not ready to receive this shirt, or I would have received it. I would have known it's not at this mailbox, it's at that mailbox. The fact that it never even crossed my mind is a clear indication I was not open to receiving at that level, right? That much love from my friend. And to have a heart that says open printed on the t-shirt, like the message is just so beautiful to me. It's such a validation. The t-shirt means a million times more now than it did when I would have received it in January, because now I can see, like, wow, look at the work I have been doing in my relationships, in my home, in my work. Like, look at the healing that I have been doing that has now put me in this place where I know my heart is more open than it's been. I know my willingness, my allowing to receive is more than it's ever been in my life. And these magical little moments are showing up over and over again. I mean, that's a pretty magical moment, but there have been lots of other really cool synchronicities. And, I've had some people reaching out to me I haven't talked to in a long time. I'm like, oh, I love that the openness I'm feeling, the magnetism I'm holding of like, okay, I have done the foundational work that I've been wanting to do in my business. I've created the structures for the offerings in the ways that I want them to be. Like my content is so good. It's solid. I know who I am. I know what I stand for. I know what I'm sharing with the world. I know the energy that moves through me. I trust in my team, my energetic team. I trust that they are always with me. Like, it's this, I mean, I even use that as the title of my blog for July. Like, I have landed in myself. I am home. I am home right here in this moment, this body, this lifetime, celebrating how good it is. And that certainty, that solidness is magnetizing towards me people who are ready for that same shift and transformation in their lives. And so the t-shirt arriving was this like, I can't wink. My family always laughs when I try to wink, but I'll just do it for fun because you'll get a laugh out of it. Right? Like, it's like the universe just winks at me. It's like, and now you get your t-shirt. There you go. You're ready. You weren't ready before, but now you're ready. Like, it's just the best high five. The best high five. So yeah, that was yesterday. Like, yay to t-shirt that says open heart. Yay to my friend actually knowing that her gift got all the way through and it wasn't her issue. It was mine. So thank you. And then this morning, here's one more quick story. Well, it may not be quick. I'm just so thirsty. So this is a fun story. I mean, all the stories are fun, right? Aren't they all fun? I think they are. I have this beautiful friend, my healer friend. Her name is Andrea. Andrea of Andrea's Alchemy, Andrea Henkels, like my beautiful friend. And she lives in New York and she does acupuncture. I met her and had no idea really about how acupuncture works. And she came to town for a retreat that I was having. I don't think she didn't treat me. I don't think she treated me at that retreat because I still was like, no needles. Nope. Sorry. Not open to receiving that. No needles. So she didn't treat me. And then she came back, I mean, maybe 6 months later. It was a while. And she convinced me to treat. So she did acupuncture sessions outside in the sunshine, well, under the porch, but out in the sunlight, right by my pool while my friend was playing music. Like, it was the bomb. It was so good. She's treated me in my bedroom, like where I could lay on my own bed, and then she would leave the room and I just float. Like, it's been amazing. So she opened me up to this world of acupuncture, which, this is why it won't be a short story. If you are afraid of needles, I just want to say to you, it doesn't hurt like you think it would. There's this tiny little like quick prick when the needle goes in, and then you're in bliss. You're in bliss because energy starts moving through your body, and it's like, it's so good. It's so, so good. Most of the time when I've had acupuncture, maybe there's like 3 needles, 5 needles. At the most I think I've ever had has been 10 needles. So it's not like what you see in the cartoons where their whole body is like covered in needles. It's not that. There's just a few very specifically placed needles to bring the conductor, because the steel of the needle, the metal, is the conductor that goes into the place, the meridian. I don't know why I'm pointing to my arm, but apparently that's where it's going to be. It could be anywhere. It could be like on your ear, or I get some on my forehead, your chin. I'm looking at my face in the camera, like all over. But basically the needle, the metal, hits the meridian of energy, and then it creates the release so that if there's a block, the energy can start to move again. Viv explanation. Viv acupuncture 101. This is why I did not go to school for it. It's because it's way more complicated than that. But these trained professionals who have spent years studying the physical body and the way the energy moves, they are so precise, and they can just touch the energy and it starts to go again. It's an incredible, incredible skill. So anyway, Andrea treated me a few times, and I was absolutely in love with acupuncture and how I would feel at the end of a session. It's just beyond words. Then my daughter tried and she got hooked. So Andrea inconveniently does not live in Cincinnati. She lives in New York, which is not helpful for me. So my friend Joe introduced me to a local healer. Her name's Kristen at Blooming Lotus. So if you, actually, I think maybe it's Blooming Lotus, but I think it's called Tiny Needle ACU. So if you are local to Cincinnati and you're looking for an acupuncturist, I highly recommend Kristen of Tiny Needle Acupuncture. You can Google her, and she's just a gift. So I don't even know, I've probably had, I want to say 15, maybe 20 sessions, probably about that many, with Kristen from like last summer maybe through this summer. It sounds like a lot when I say it, but it really isn't that much. I mean, I would do one session every couple weeks, and then when I was working on, when I did Awakening the Guides, that program, I was creating the content for that. I did an acupuncture session for a couple weeks before, and then every week through the whole program, and then a couple weeks after. And it really helped me hold all the energy that was moving through me and integrate how much was downloading. Like, it was incredible to have Kristen support me through that. So the reason I'm sharing all of this in this moment is because Andrea decided that she was going to start offering virtual acupuncture, which is like, he's so good. If you're afraid of needles, this is your way, my friends. This is the way to have acupuncture without the needles. So she's getting all of it set up right now. If you're interested, you need to let me know, and I'll communicate that to her or connect you with her. But I'm hoping really soon that maybe she can come on and talk about what it's like or share. I actually did an interview with her in our Healing Our Souls video series when I did those 2 years ago. 1 year ago? I don't remember. It was a while ago. When I did Healing Our Souls, I interviewed Andrea Henkels in one of the first ones. So you can watch and get to know her a little bit better if you want in that video. But we should have her on so she can talk about this virtual acupuncture. But anyway, the reason I bring it up is because my virtual acupuncture session was this morning. Why? Because I'm open to receiving. Because my heart needed to open even wider so I could wear this t-shirt tonight. So here's how it worked. I'll just share real quick. I lay down on my bed. I had my blanket over me, and then Andrea called, and I shared a couple things that were happening in my body, which there wasn't much to share because my body feels really good. And then I put on some music, and we hung up the phone, and then I just laid there for 45 minutes with my palms up, just, comfortably on my bed. And she did the healing session from where she is in New York. And I could feel, it was so funny because we were messaging after it was over, and she told me what she was experiencing. And I was like, well, here's what I was experiencing. And it was completely in alignment, what she was going through, what I was going through. And we just had different ways of expressing it. She was talking about meridians and body parts and organs. And I was like, what I see, what I feel, like, it was incredible. It was so good. It was so good. One of the main reasons that this story came up, that I wanted to share it in this space, is because in my meditation before my mind went blank, I was just feeling grateful, I was feeling so grateful for the journey that I have taken that has brought me to here. The Deepak recording I was listening to, it was number 11 in the Shedding the Weight series. And they were talking about healing the parts of yourselves that you don't like. How we all have those areas that we're not comfortable with, or that we try to hide or ignore, and they don't go away. Those shadowy places that we don't like, they don't go away until we look at them. And then once we look at them, once we feel what is there and we literally move through that, they go away. Those shadowy places go away. And I was feeling how I've done so much excavation in my journey of the parts of myself I just have not liked. And the ways I've showed up that I don't like, and kind of like watching the videos, the replays, and constantly improving, continuous improvement. Like I've been doing that for quite a while. And in the meditation right before this call, I just had this feeling of gratitude, like all of that work, all of that focus and time, it's paid off. Who I am now, I really enjoy. And the way that I show up and exist in my life and thrive in my life, I really enjoy that. I like who I am. I know who I am. I'm very proud of who I am. And when Andrea was reflecting to me what the acupuncture session felt like to her, she said, there's not a lot to work on with you. Like, your energy flow is really good. Your chakras are all good. They're all open. They're flowing. There's like she used the word fine tuning. She said there's fine tuning that needs to happen, but your overall energetic health and your physical health is really good. And I know that is a reflection of how much work I've done to Louise Hay would say, emotional blocks in your body are dis-ease. It's where your body is not at ease. And so the body creates the disease to show you where you're out of alignment. And I believe that to be true, 100% true. So because I've done all that excavation and that clearing and the hard work, because it's hard work to look at your shit. And I don't like to create limitations or difficulties for people, but it's hard work. It takes time and commitment, internal commitment. Just like the football players when they play football, like they got to go sweat their butts off to be ready for those games. They can't just show up on game day and expect it to be great. They got to do their work. And it's the same for us as souls in human bodies. We got to do that clearing. We got to do the work so that when we've done it, we're at optimal health. We're at optimal energy performance. We're at our peak. We're flying with like this beautiful alignment of the mind, body, spirit. And to have Andrea, who was my first entry into this Chinese medicine and the healing of the body and acupuncture, to know where she met me a couple of years ago she's known me longer than that, but where she met me in the healing of my body to where I am now, for her to say, it's good, you're good. I feel like, I got an A. It was like, it just felt, it was so good to get that validation from her. Even though I know that, even though I feel that, it was so good to receive that little, you're doing great. Keep it up. Keep it up. Yeah. And, the session itself, that was the other part I wanted to mention. When we have dis-ease in our bodies, when we're not, when we're holding those parts of ourselves hidden that we don't like, or we're holding the stories back that we want to release, when all of that gunk is inside of us, every time we have a healing or we show up for a session of, acupuncture or Reiki or, any healing modality, when we show up for that time for our body and our soul, you start where you are. So if you haven't been looking at those shadowy places, you've got some gunk to clear out. You've got some dis-ease to move out of the body so it can find its way to ease. So all of those sessions, it takes that constant coming and practicing and doing the healing and healing the body and releasing and releasing. It's like the releasing prayer in the bathroom, right? Like every time you show up, a little bit more of that junk is leaving your body because you're setting the intention, it's moving out. A little more of that heaviness and feeling is moving out because you're setting the intention. You build momentum upon the work that you've done already. So you're clearing a layer and then you're showing up and now you have a little bit less work to do. or you're a little further ahead on your path. And then one day, you arrive at these moments where you're like, I'm good. Like, in this moment, I'm so good. I feel good. I'm happy with the relationships. I'm happy with where I am. I'm happy with the work I'm doing. Like, my body's good. My energy's good. Like, I'm good. I'm good. All that work I've been doing, it's paid off, right? And so the session that you step into becomes, it's like you're moving up the steps to here. And then the session, instead of you having to pull your way up, do the clearing, you're already cleared. It's like the airplane, you're cleared for takeoff. Off you go. Your session becomes bliss. Your acupuncture session becomes this incredible extra sensory, like, yeah, right? I could just feel so much energy in my body, and there wasn't any clearing to do. And so I was literally having all these visions of relationships, and then of things that I want to shift in my business, of new collaborations that can happen. Like, it was just like boom, boom, boom. You know, the soul, when it's not trying to fight its way through all the body's gunk and the mental chatter, the soul can go, here you go, and another one. It was just exhilarating. And I was in my body having the experience. It wasn't like I zoomed out into the universe and checked out for a while. I was here, fully aware and present of exactly how beautiful creative energy is. So, yeah, I guess I'm encouraging you, like, do your work, because as you do it, you are releasing more and more, and you are stepping into more truth and light of who you are. And the more you step into that, the more often you step into that, the more confidently you step into that, the more of that you become. The more it's continuous improvement. Kaizen, you're just going. You're just going, and it's so awesome. And the more of us who are doing that, watch out, world. Watch out, world. I know I've said this. I've said that part before, but yeah, let's all be that amazing. Okay, I could go on and on because I'm just really in a super chatty mood right now. I got a lot of energy to share, but it's long enough because my time is saying it's been almost an hour. All right, I wanted to share the song Home by American authors. We are wrapping up Cancer, the sun in Cancer, which is all about home. I've been feeling it from clients and friends and family, like, oh, there's some heaviness, there's some intensity, you know, there's some truth being spoken and relationships being explored. And yeah, like, we got some stuff coming up, and it's to clear, it's to release, so that we can step more into our truth and our light. We can remember that we are immortal beings having human experiences. So when I was getting ready before the call, I was like, oh, I need a song. I haven't done a song in a little while. What song should I do? And so I hit shuffle, and, you know, I'm allowed to select. I hit shuffle 3 times. And the first 2, I was like, no. But the third one was Home by American authors. And I was like, yes, yes, these lyrics are so good. So I'm going to read them to you. And then my invitation is go on YouTube and listen to the song. Go and listen to the song. My nephew introduced me to the song. Shout out to my nephew, Carter. And I bought the album, and it's on my phone, so I listen to this often. Okay, Home by American authors. I've got these letters tattooed on my arm that remind me each second of where I come from and the long, hard road to get me back home. Back to my mama who raised me up right, and back to my lady I held every night. It's a long, hard road trying to get home. I've been gone now for too long. I'm not trying to stop a hurricane. I'm not trying to shake the ground below. I'm just trying to find a way to make it back home. I'm not trying to part the ocean waves. I'm not trying to overthrow the throne. I'm just trying to find a way to make it back home. I'm just trying to get home. I've got this image, this is my favorite line. I've got this image engraved in my mind of a life that I had in a whole different time. It still breathes and lives at the end of the road. I've seen mountains and valleys through my missing days, but I never once parted with how you begged me to stay. I will run down that long, hard, and treacherous road to get home. I think that was, yeah, and then the lyrics were all the same. I've been gone for so long, but my heart, it carries on as it pounds like a drum on my journey back home. American authors. Home. What I know, what I believe 100% is home is this infinite spirit, the soul in the physical body here in this moment on Gaia. Home is this now reality. So all the running and searching and all that stuff is to bring us back right here. Yeah, it's good. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, and let's go enjoy the evening. So much love from my heart to yours tonight. Mwah.